The Model View Controller Pattern, or MVC, can be implemented in Express with ease. If you are unaware, MVC is just a way to structure your project when creating an API with Express. Dividing the logic into 3 separate parts makes your code easier to scale and maintain. We start out by creating an Express server like normal, so if you don't know how to do that, watch my other video on doing that, and then we begin to structure our project. Once you have an Express server created, head to whatever folder you have your index.js inside of. Create the folders Models, Controllers, and Routes if you do not have them already. Notice that we did not create a Views folder. That's because the views are typically handled by some front end. We will implement one later in another video, but for now it's not necessary. Let's start implementing the logic of a GET request inside of a controller and show how MVC is structured in Express. For MVC in Express, the controllers are where we store the logic that happens when we make a request to a route in our API. First, let's go to our controllers directory and create a new file for logic that gets all products on a database and name it products. Inside of the file, let's write the following code. We're going to do module exports, and we're going to export an object. Inside of this object is all the functions that's going to run for every request that we send to the API. For here, let's just do a get all request, and we'll send all products back when we get it right. Now that we have our logic defined, let's refactor our code from inside of the routes folder. We now import our controller and replace the previous functions with the new ones. It looks something like this. We just require the controller from products, and then we replace any generic request function that we had before with the function from the controller. Let's move on to models. The models directory is where we define the schemas for the objects in our database. You could use whatever method you like, but I will be using Mongoose for this tutorial. I won't go too deep into Mongoose or MongoDB here, but if you follow along you can easily understand the concept. MVC is just a way to structure the project, so it doesn't matter what technology you use. Let's add a file in our models directory named products. This is what a schema like that might look like in Mongoose. As you can see, you can easily adapt this to using an SQL server or whatever kind of server that you'd like to use. MVC is just a way to structure your projects, so just remember that it doesn't matter what technology you use, it just makes it easier to take care of as you add more logic into your applications. It's widely used by software engineers, and in some cases it's expected for you to understand MVC when applying for jobs in the industry. And that's going to do it for MVC in Express. It's pretty simple. So if you liked the video, make sure to comment below, subscribe, and get ready for the next one.